and right now we have a guest by the name of Bruce Laird. Now it's almost becoming an annual event at the Gild Hall in Arden for people to come and hear the Gilbert Sullivan productions and to honor this man who has written for such varied organizations as the Wilmington Opera Society, the Candlelight Theater, and the University of Delaware. Now he's been called Delaware's Composer Laureate, and he's also been a critic for the News Journal since about 1980. Now in 1980 he was elected Teacher of the Year for Delaware, and tonight he wears even another hat, as you'll see. He's stage director of this year's Ardensingers annual Gilbert Sullivan production. It's called Yeoman of the Guard. Did I get that correct?
You did indeed.
Did I say everything I was supposed to?
Yes, I'm going to take off this hat now.
Okay.
Okay.
That's quite a get-up you're wearing there.
Yes, this is a yeoman's outfit, actually, which I wore against my better judgment.
Do you get a lot of whistles wearing that?
Not yet, but I'm not going to wear it in the car going home, I'll tell you that. Well, I'm really glad to be on because there are a couple of things. First of all, I'd like to do something special here right off the bat, which is to give you 6 cops here. Maybe you can use those for your giveaway, could you?
Oh, okay.
Okay. And they're for Friday night next week,
Great.
the 23rd. Okay. That's not opening night. That'll be the second night.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are the dates the show runs?
Okay, well, actually, for the general public, we'll actually be opening on the 22nd. And we'll be playing the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and then the next week again, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Possibly I ought to plug prices too.
Sure.
If you're a senior citizen, you do well probably to try to get in next Tuesday when the tickets are only $2 for senior citizens. And there'll be a lot of relatives there, so there'll probably be a lot of support. And also, you'd be interested in knowing that the Thursday night tickets are only $4. And then for the 2 nights closest to the weekend, Friday and Saturday, both weeks, there's $6.
At the Arden Gild Hall.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Now, you viewers, we'll give these 6 comps away later on in the show, along with a lot of other giveaways, so stay tuned later on in the show. Well, this show this year is called Yeoman of the Guard. That's a Gilbert Sullivan production. I haven't heard of that. Is that one of the better-known ones?
Yes, I think you can't rank it with Pinafore or the Mikado or
Yes.
the Parts Penzance, which, of course, as you know, the latter one is now enjoying a long run on Broadway. In
Yes.
fact, Linda Ronstadt was in it.
Oh.
But this particular one, strangely enough, which came very late in the collaboration of the two, in fact, after they had several tiffs, they came to grips with the idea that possibly Sullivan, who wrote the music, was more interested in writing something serious. And this curious thing about this show, this is the only really serious show that they wrote. It actually has a death at the end, which is most unusual for Gilbert and Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
The idea came to Gilbert when he was trying to appease Sullivan by seeing, of all odd things, look at me, a Beefeater advertisement.
Well, that's what it is, of course.
Yes. You've seen this before on bottles. Well, I shouldn't accuse you of seeing them on bottles, but anyway, they are on bottles. And consequently, he started writing a show which he was going to call The Beefeaters.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the last minute decided that he would change it to The Yeoman of the Guard, which didn't sound quite so tough and so puzzling. And it's remained that way ever since. Later on, incidentally, when the two partners were no longer speaking, it was a very bad, very rocky type of relationship. The two looked back on their collaborations and agreed that probably this was their favorite show. Happens to be mine, too, incidentally.
That's interesting. You know, you seem very knowledgeable about Gilbert Sullivan. I understand that you give lectures on Gilbert Sullivan.
Yeah, I went down to Richmond, Virginia last year and had a good time. We had a seminar down there on a weekend that was actually done by the Middle States Drama Conference. And I had a really neat time because I was very relaxed on something that I knew something about. I'm very relaxed tonight here because I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I get in front of a camera and not quite sure what I'm doing. I would like to put in a plug about the cast of the show because I think this is going to be a drawing card for us, if I may do a plug at this point.
Go right ahead.
Now I'm going to be very cagey because I'm going to do them in alphabetical order so nobody can get me afterwards. We have in the cast Karen Eckler, who's playing the usual traditional grande dame, which was in every single one of those, usually a barracuda man chaser. Chuck Hinesley, who is usually associated with opera more than with light opera, as this is, and used to be with City Center in New York. Then also Rob Gawthorpe, who's done an awful lot of Gilbert and Sullivan in this area, including with the Savoy out of Philadelphia. Susan Gray, Liz Lozano, who's our lead this year, Frank Reynolds, who I guess is the biggest Gilbert and Sullivan buff around here, really, and been a marvelous performer in them, Jill Shute, Simon Shute, Mike Zalatoris, and Rick Zumstag. Now, you've got to give me credit. I did that from
I
memory.
do have to give you credit. That's very good. Yeah, you were speaking about buffs. Do we have a lot of Delaware buffs who enjoy watching Gilbert and Sullivan
Yes, I
shows?
think so, and I'll tell you why I think so. First of all, we're not really the only group that performs in the area. There are a number of them that are performing around. The most famous, I guess, outside of Ardensingers here in Delaware is the one that goes to the Savoy out of Philadelphia, which goes to Longwood every
Yes.
year. And we have picked up, even in this cast, some people that are in many of those other groups. In fact, I understand that what I have on now is not brand new, but has been used with other groups.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, one of the things about this costume is I think I've got what you call the fattest costume on, and you have to be very careful whom you cast as yeoman to make sure that the costumes fit.
How's it fit?
Tight, particularly around the neck.
I see.
I would like also to say one thing about the production. We're
Go ahead,
in
Bruce.
good shape. And I think that even if people came to the Tuesday night, I'm particularly appealing to you senior citizens now. If you came for the $2 evening on Tuesday night, you're likely to see a show in very good shape, although in my mind I'm calling it a dress rehearsal, but I don't think it will look like one. By opening night, I'm sure we'll be in good shape. In fact, we ran the show for the first time Tuesday, and tomorrow night I'm going to be back at the theater, and we'll do our second run through then. And then our orchestra joins us on Sunday.
Quickly give the dates of the show again.
Okay, they are this coming Tuesday with a special preview for senior citizens and relatives, and then next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then the following Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
And that's at the Arden
Gild Hall. Right.
Okay. Thanks, Bruce Laird, for coming on our show, and I hope you go see Yeoman of the Guard. With Bruce involved, it's got to be a great show. And now we're going to go to some short messages, and then we'll be back with more of the show. Stick around.